co-producer Ryan Ridley.
Director Steven Sandoval.
Justin Roiland here.
Dan Harmon. Reputation precedes me. My name is my title.
I like this episode a lot.
I remember the original idea was this cold open is what started this whole thing. Was the idea, right? Wasn't it like the idea of like a portal opening and a Rick and Morty coming in and killing a Rick, and just how if you didn't watch the fucking previews, the spoilery previews that Adult Swim put out, you would have been like, "What the fuck? Rick just got killed." Mm-hmm. And then it was like, "Nope, that wasn't our Rick, dog." That was another Rick.
It's called Schmuckbait, Justin.
Schmuckbait?
Called you Morty. Yeah, because everyone knows the main characters aren't going to get killed.
Morty, that's called Schmuckbait. That's not true. You don't know the main characters aren't going to get killed in a show where the main characters end up burying themselves in the backyard. That's the great thing. We
How do you know they haven't already been killed?
We reinvented TV. You're welcome. I almost said thank you.
Now here's a
breakfast for putting up with me.
You should be making us a whole restaurant.
little. Wait, did we already get the Martin Luther King joke in there?
Yeah, we missed
okay.
it. Who cares?
Well, we love him. We love Martin Luther King, so that would give him a nod.
Yeah, no laughing
The show
matter.
takes place in this episode.
We wrote this in February too, by the way.
Transdimensional Council of Ricks.
Hey, what the heck?
Neutralize the Jerry.
Wait, no.
Come on, insight. Come on, let's hear it. No dead air.
The freeze ray was that freezes Jerry was purple, and I wanted to make it blue like Frank in the pilot because I thought that was like a cool sort of technology that maybe they've.
All right.
Look at those badges.
Yeah, look at those. Hey, by the way, those badges exist, dog. If you can get your hands on one of those, that's a eBay.
Crew gift.
It's an eBay nugget.
The first season wrap.
I'm going to get cremated in mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just that. I'm not going to wear any clothes. I'm just going to wear the badge.
If you find that on eBay, buy it, no matter how much it is, because those are never going to turn up.
Who would put that on eBay? What kind of soulless person that worked in the show would put that souvenir, that treasure on eBay?
Somebody that didn't get health benefits, or somebody that felt sexually harassed by something they saw on the kitchen whiteboard.
Yeah.
Special shout out to our storyboard artist Roy Camacho, who we were so behind in design. Roy went ahead and kind of roughed out a majority of these BGs for the Council of Ricks.
Wow.
And they're phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, this is all sort of what I told the design team. I said I want it to kind of feel a little bit like the Citadel on Mass Effect, but not exactly. You know, it needs to feel like this.
Not
massive,
legally.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, it's just that's the inspiration, and there's a lot of inspiration design-wise in this episode.
Why aren't there any overweight Ricks and Mortys?
Because man, they keep fit.
We had how many alternate Ricks and Mortys designed?
So many.
We had like gender bending Ricks and Mortys.
We had a ton.
The House of Cosby shout out Ricks and Mortys
which somehow got
slipped
lost
through the
in
cracks.
They were in there.
Yeah, man.
And then they got cut out.
Boy, if those can't make it on your show, Justin.
This is another one that we had a lot of fixes in the 11th hour.
Are those giant mega seeds in the background?
No,
They kinda
just
look
trees.
like
trees.
There's a big question that I run into. This is when eventually fun runs into logic, and the two of them have to have a fight. And when you see like a three-eyed Rick or a genetically different Rick or Morty, does that mean that there's such a thing as a Rick that somehow? What defines a Rick? Because in my opinion, what we learned in the Goggles episode is that it's genetics. It's the moment your dad's sperm hits your mom's egg, and those genes are shuffled to exactly that thing. That defines who you are.
Yeah.
And there's a million versions of that person based on what happens to them as they develop in the womb and proceed. But there wouldn't be no fish version of you. There wouldn't be there's a Hammer Morty. How did that Hammer Morty? I justify it in my head by going like, oh, Hammer Morty got turned into a hammer at some point. He had to.
What's that hammer dick look like? You're asking.
I said it was like a one of those doppelganger things, like on a weird planet of hammers. That there happened to be
there's still
Rick.
but yeah, I mean, we'll talk about it later.
Look, let me tell you what it is. It's when you die, your spirit is reincarnated onto another planet.
Uh-oh.
I mean, let's get into it.
You
want to get into what happens?
Send $5 with a self-addressed stamped envelope.
And I'll send you a prayer
to
coin
Justinology.
and some holy water.
Those Ricks get to have the fancy haircuts.
I'm really surprised that the image on the screen of Rick with his head up his own ass.
Yeah, made it. Yeah, no, they had no problem with that. Either they didn't see it or they just didn't care.
By the way, those Ricks have that hair because the job went to their head, literally.
Yes, exactly.
That I understand.
Yeah,
because they're like, we can't look like just any other Rick.
Exactly.
Well, no, look at where they're sitting up on this golden pedestal. I mean, of course they're gonna have fancy hairdos.
Tribunal of Ricks.
I would love to just see them get their manicures and.
But the important thing about I love the idea that if there's infinite versions of you, then there's so many of you that are exactly like you. Then you could consider yourself the James Dean of being you. There's a way to array a limitless number of you around you that would all be a little more square than you. You would be the rogue.
Yeah, because who are the Ricks who are like, yeah, I guess I'll be the
part of
soldier,
a citadel,
the one that's the cop, I guess. Like that doesn't seem very
certainly not
Rick.
the one that we started our show with.
That's some real
but also the invitation to the audience member to think, oh, there must be a citadel of Ryans, a citadel of Justins, and it's when you're dealing with a base infinite.
Greasy Grandma World.
I'd definitely be one of the cop.
By the way, Ridley and Tom Kenny here.
Yeah, it's me.
As all these variations.
This joke in particular, right before it finished being produced, Justin.
Are you going to talk about the beanbag?
Yeah,
thing?
he said, we have to change it from beanbag chair, and I said, why? And he goes, because the same beat where he says beanbag, in the first one he says Mexican people on half, and I think that people are going to draw a connection between Mexican people being that one.
I got skittish,
and I was like,
what? Skittish because I was like, I'm reading all these people connecting dots and shit online, and I'm like, I don't want them to think that I'm like racist against Mexican people.
You got to avoid that, but also
chair.
You connecting beanbag to racist is definitely Mexican is racist.
Oh,
that's the racist.
Well, I lived with this for like half a year before that ever even came into my mind. I think someone told me.
You should have befriended.
By the way,
some
this
more
guy,
Mexicans
the homeless guy, freaking out. He was drinking out of a dump truck.
Right.
So then we went in the very last minute, changed the cars to bottles.
Yeah.
To keep everything flopped.
And sure enough, everybody that watches this show, you go online the next day and there's screen grabs and they love that more than anything. I mean, you still have to just make a show that feels like an episode of The Simpsons, like from front to back for a half-hour experience. But nowadays, you also have to, in my opinion, you have to proof it against.
Yep.
Against this piranha-like side of the viewer's brain that's going to sit there for 3 days after and
Beth's burp talk was added after my tenure. That was a nice surprise.
Yeah, that was a pickup day.
We discovered that Sarah Chalk could burp on command, right?
Yeah,
That's
that was
awesome.
a fun day. I was like, holy shit, you're better at that than I am.
And I love the Rick's reaction to it. She did it. She did it. She did it.
Yeah. I was jealous at how effortless it came to her. I have to sit there and drink water and beer and...
My wife's actually genuinely concerned about your gastrointestinal tract.
A lot of people are, man.
This is a universe where chairs are people and people are chairs. Now, what does that mean? We don't know for sure. We don't know if people are intelligent. I mean, the chairs obviously are.
Yeah.
We think it just means that chairs look like people.
Yeah, they don't blink. They don't blink. They don't move.
I don't think those people are alive.
No.
They're made of wood and plastic and steel.
It's if your universe is lorded over by, or I'm sorry, your biosphere, the sentient life form is chairs.
Why don't they all look like the same person?
And they're
That's
eating
inefficient
phones.
in
I mean,
design.
Well, that's
Go to a restaurant with 19
it's a tacky
different
restaurant.
chair designs.
my favorite...
It's like when you go to restaurants where there's jars for glasses,
Well,
like all these-
here's the thing, Ryan. You're being chair racist because to you, all paisley upholstered chairs in a Chinese restaurant look the same.
My favorite thing about
in reality,
it is...
if you walk in there with a chair, they'd go, oh, there's Kevin, there's Kyle, there's Tanya.
I love how it illustrates the endless possibilities for realities. I mean, it's just like look at all these variations.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a drop
a
in the
sort of
bucket.
weird blend of Douglas Adams and Dr. Seuss. Where you're just like, well, your 6-year-old logic intersects with this,
Endless.
Michio Kaku's.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Theoretical physics and whatever.
Keep saying it over and over.
That quick scene.
Okay,
was written
so
to
just
justify
wanna say
why they're in
that
new clothes, right?
This background design was inspired by the Neverending Story, the turtle swamp. You know, the giant turtle, with a dash of dark crystal mixed in. Castle.
Sandoval, what was your now that you know you're locked in and everyone loves you?
Oh,
What was the moment of this episode that made you want to murder all of us?
Yeah, I mean, this
actually
had to be it, right?
This was actually my sequence.
It's fantastic.
I don't think it was. Gosh, I hate to sound like a yes man, but there really wasn't any moment where I just looked at it as each time it was a challenge. Like, okay, how are we going to do this? Okay, you guys want to throw a legion of Mortys on us? Okay, we can do that.
Yeah, this is the one that Bardell pushed back on a
Right
handful of
answer.
staging.
Ooh, I need another drink.
Yeah, like there's a handful of shots that we had to change. You'll probably notice them coming up that because Bardell was like, "This is just not going to happen with our resources."
Hi, Jerry.
What's that symbol on Jerry's computer?
That's the symbol on all the computers on our show.
Oh, what is
I
it?
can
a
definitely
plug.
see why this being followed up by the party episode like
Bummed everyone out.
Yeah, now I get it.
Yeah, I mean
this is fucking intriguing.
yeah, it's great.
We should if we just swapped them,
Yeah, if we swapped them, we would have had. But then
but we couldn't swap them because we.
don't say anything.
What do you mean?
Well, no,
I don't want anyone to.
Season one.
Oh, I don't know what you were going to say.
Because we made up our mind that we wanted to end season
Oh, the end of
time
season.
freezing.
That's what I was. That's
Why is that a shush? What do you mean?
I thought, oh shit, really quick. This was originally Chinese Morty.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
and Lazo,
that was-
rightfully so,
was like-
said, it's funny, but you might run into some trouble there.
Hashtag
Pretty
cancel
accurate.
everything.
So it became, we really nailed it though with the replacement. Eric Stoltz
Eric
for Mask
Stoltz for
Morty.
Mask Morty, which again, this episode really demonstrates
Which
the
is
breadth of-
only making fun of a group of people that have no power economically. That's the important
I
thing.
just like that the idea was it could be anything you want, multiple dimensions, and we landed on Eric Stoltz from Mask Morty as the funniest option.
Poor guy. Listen, he doesn't actually eat poop, everyone.
Yeah.
Just want to go on record and say the brownies are brownies.
Yeah, actually, no. The people that
Were people making that
connected those
connection?
dots,
Yeah.
that made me realize that was actually poor construction on my part. The brownies with the poop thing. Like it's too. The dots are too close together.
Yeah, maybe you're
Because
right.
people connect dots. That's what they do.
Yeah.
If I tweet something about Community and say I have a rash on my arm, I know that 8 people are going to say, "You mean jib rash?" That's not on them. That's on me.
I like the little green vapor that's coming out of the little blowholes
Oh
on
yeah,
the
that's
bottom.
all Scarpetti and
It's a
our
nice little
in-house team.
touch.
Yeah, this is all Dark Crystal stuff. I told, just like inspired by, I should say.
Yeah, I always thought this episode was sort of like a hunt for like a serial killer, like a True Blood kind of thing. So I like how creepy this whole
Oh, it's so cool. I mean,
base is.
and this
is
thing
Rick and
turned out
Morty
amazing.
Universe is
yeah.
Carcosa.
That was supposed to communicate that there's a lot of these things. So, and I had to do a lot of voices on this episode.
Yeah, and I was going to
But
say
you believe
earlier.
them as separate characters.
A lot of
though.
checks.
Yeah,
Right.
I actually didn't think that. I did not
Yeah,
picture
right.
you as Doofus Rick. I thought that should be a totally different voice actor. Originally, I imagined it as Mike Lazo's voice, kind of southern.
Yeah.
But you really nailed it. You really.
No, I mean,
didn't think you
I
could
had
bring
a-
that kind of pathos.
Yeah,
frankly.
I had a way to play that guy.
Yeah.
I knew what to do, but I just remember recording all these voices, and then it was in a new studio, and it wasn't.
We're coming up on our season's first and last Mumford and Sons joke.
But not the series.
Hey,
last.
don't jump the gun. Okay, so as you all know, if you've bought the first edition of this DVD, you will own a prop that you're about to see. You will have in your hot little hands the very rare limited run of the Morty book. I guess that's the next
Keep
scene.
stretching.
What? No, why was there a fart sound in there?
I just threw it in.
I love that you're in the room and
I just like, I'm going
caught
to put
ya.
a fart in here.
We got you.
I mean, with this
I
Listen,
know it's a
Mortys.
cheap laugh.
can
but
I just say,
of all the places to put a fart.
I had multiple opportunities to take that out, and I never did because
It felt
it made me
right.
laugh
Fine with me,
every
it's
time.
fine with me.
By the way, even though that's my voice going, I still say that should have been a more of a mechanical sound.
No, you dum
No,
dum.
it fits perfect.
There's a moment where you're going, "Hey, keep it down in here." I mean, then you know what I mean?
I
Like
know.
they talk.
You and I. Yeah, duh. See this right here, Rick? I crunched the numbers. I created a spectrum. I ate a lot of poop, too. Don't connect any dots.
That Rick used to be,
brownies are made of poop.
Rick. This guy right here, super
We had
weird.
actually designed like a whole bunch of different Rick heads.
Yeah,
So
weird
it was-
alien ones.
Yeah.
And then
That was me. I just wanted it to be normal.
Yeah,
Rick.
that makes- that made
the
more
original
sense.
Or maybe
Rick
you
was-
said that a long time. Maybe it was like me executing a note you had from a very early.
Yeah, he's originally like an alien-looking Rick, but then it's like, well, the really weird Rick should wonder what makes him so weird. Like he's just a regular-looking Rick.
Wait, yeah. I mean, we said
not
he
poop,
eats
guys.
poop, and then he's making a pan of brown
But he also
shit.
defended himself, saying, "I don't eat poop."
It doesn't matter what he says. Look at him. Like the joke,
at him.
the story would be that it tastes like poop. It's distracting. It should have been anything
He
else.
should have been making muffins,
Cupcakes,
blueberry muffins.
yellow cupcakes.
This is Dan O'Connor, right? Did this stuff, this sequence.
What do you
He
think?
did a lot of the. O'Onnor did a lot of the Doofus Rick stuff, the B story stuff, right?
Yeah.
You know, Jerry.
He doesn't, you know, he's.
It's like this is why it's important for it to be Justin's voice instead of anybody else's for Doofus Rick, because you want to hear Rick's voice say the kind of thing that if he could just focus his babbling energy, like Jerry's so close to just getting what he wants from Rick. That's what's tragic about this is like Jerry doesn't need that much.
Yeah.
So in the time
Here it
they've
is.
been
There's the
captive
prop.
here, yeah, they formed a whole religion.
Yeah. And you can
see
read
the
all
whole
about it
mythology.
if you bought the first printing. If
Yeah.
you didn't buy the first printing, well, guess what? Your punishment is you don't get this booklet. Go find it on eBay for $1 billion, you jokester.
Yeah, good luck, you fucking poor piece of shit. You fucking useless consumer.
snooze, you lose.
You fucking
you blew it.
milk-fed runt kitten on the tit of corporate America.
You blew it.
So long, you fucking plebe. You proly fucking receptacle.
Now you're going to have to pay triple the cost.
See ya in Hawaii on the shitty island.
Action novels. There's Hammer.
Tom Coughlin wrote a lot of this scene. I think he wrote a lot of stuff in this episode. Shout out. Is he out there?
Shout out.
Yeah. All right. I've got my.
Oh,
place
this
in
is the
heaven.
scene that we had to change because you had this awesome down shot,
Yeah.
and they were like, "We can't do it with these builds we have." And I'm like, "All right,
All right, so here we
This
go.
is not
There's
Rick's
something
wife.
in here. There's a
That's
shot
mother.
of a baby Morty, right?
yes."
So what does that mean?
Well, it means that Rick was chilling with a fucking baby Morty. Maybe not our
What
Morty.
the fuck does that mean?
I
Doesn't
say
mean it was our
he
Morty.
Snuck
Way to
back
go,
in,
canon
unbeknownst
fuckers.
to Beth and Jerry, he snuck into the house and like just
No,
picked up.
dude, I already know
boy.
what it is,
Just
and I'm not going to
made
say
sure
here.
he was developing, you know, properly to be a
Great.
shield.
I'm not going to say what it is, but I know what it is.
Look, the
great.
truth of the matter, if anyone who goes on Reddit or whatever, we don't know we don't think about this shit.
Oh, good. Well, at least none of them would ever listen to a commentary track.
We make it up as we go along.
At least we're only talking to the 8 people that give the most shit about this stuff.
Yeah.
Only human.
We had to strategically place their legs when they were
You know what's
sliding.
funny? My,
Yeah,
my-
yeah.
my
So no
buddy
genitalia was revealed.
Alex Hirsch saw that shot of all of that wide shot of them all falling and the animatic, and he's like, "Pfft, "Good luck with that shot." And I was like, he's like, "Yeah, that's gonna be fun to do." It turned out great though.
Yeah, it looked great.
Yo, ding dong, we're done here.
Legos,
Time to
because
go.
Justin loves Legos.
Love me my Legos, man.
You know, I find myself like every once in a while saying, "Yo, ding dong." I don't know why.
Yo, ding dong, time to go.
Just like Rick, we could maybe, you know, get rid of him.
This is where
I'm not
Jerry
saying kill him
hatches his
necessarily. I'm
first
also not saying
plot to
necessarily not kill him, but
maybe kill Rick.
We both know it wouldn't work. It's time to go back to our lives.
It wouldn't work straight up because Beth would go, excuse me?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. I mean, he looks retarded. Sorry. He
boy.
looks
Challenged.
Jeez.
He
Look,
looks
I'm a product of the
superpowered.
80s, okay? I'm a product of the 80s.
He looks capable of anything.
Yeah. When I was in the 80s, that word wasn't as taboo as it
He
is now.
looks deserving of funding and
I deserve to defend myself. I have nothing. I have nothing but love in my heart and empathy for mentally disabled people.
like my sister,
Yes.
Crystal Harmon.
Thank you.
Look it up.
She's adorable.
Your sister
in
has an
institution
online
in Madison,
presence?
Wisconsin.
Poor
Eat
little
it.
Rickless bastards.
In your face, motherfuckers.
Earth Rick C-137. The council apologizes for its false
love this
accusation.
fucking
and
Council
in the way
of
of
Rick's
reparations
interior.
for our terrible mistake, we would like to compensate you.
I am really fucked up about my sister.
For free replacement.
That kind of eats at me.
Really? Why?
Yeah.
Well, let's not get into that now, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
that-
probably maybe that should be a
the next
commentary on a
Yeah.
Why do you start
no,
the
the next one.
different
Different
episode.
episode.
Start the
Different
Crystal
episode.
Harmon Foundation.
Just seems
Pretty
fucked
good
up.
job back there for a human cloaking
Not fair.
device. Saved your ass. All right, Morty, don't break an arm, jerk.
I've heard your whole theory about it. It is.
Are you and your siblings like the Goldilocks porridge? So there's kind of
Oh man.
you represent sort of the.
Maybe I don't connect because I'm the rickest.
Way to
I won't
boil it
continue
down,
with that.
man. I want to say animation-wise, I thought we could do this a little better. It's a little weird, cheap feeling.
You mean the
Just them walking forward and like watch right here. Like, doesn't Rick?
continue forward?
Yeah, is it? Yeah, right here. Isn't it? Or maybe it's the other shot. It was the other shot.
Yeah.
Sorry, I missed it.
Who never got a chance to do it better is my sister.
All right, I failed. I failed.
No, that wasn't your fault. By the way, this Rick is not a robot, guys. There's blood. There's. I mean,
He was being controlled.
his brain was wired. His organic brain was wired with super sci-fi technology in order to puppet him.
But as
Is
with the
that the
baby Morty,
confusion?
I mean, there's no brain there. That's all.
It's all wire mesh and
Yeah, that's why
muscle
brain is
tissue,
replaced or just augmented?
Yeah, brain muscle.
augmented,
All right.
Well, look, give me a
cybernetic.
break.
Discovery Channel.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
And no one knows he's around. That's the biggest mindfuck of all.
And he
I
will
love that I
never
saw a
come
lot of,
back,
like-
this character, ever?
I
We'll
saw a lot
never
of very
explore this
depressive,
any further.
gothy hand sketches of Mortys with wires coming out of their eyes. I think we struck a chord there with
Yeah.
that image. I like that.
By the way, Blonde Redhead, one of my favorite bands, one of my favorite songs. And I remember like sitting in my bed, Indian style, cutting this in with headphones on. I cut a few other songs in here to see what would work.
What happened to Building 7? Oh, are we not? Oh, shit. I wanted to slip that in right at the end.
Yeah, you're right. What happened to Building 7, guys?
Probably something reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, probably
Google
something
it.
totally fine. I mean,
Fine.
why don't you read the Popular Mechanics issue on debunking 9/11 inside job myths?
Oh, here we go.
Hey, Jerry.
Marble season!
Marble season?
He fucking tossed some marbles into that tray. Where'd those come from?
There's a picture
Fucking
of
fanfic. Get on
Linkler
it.
in the background, which everybody thought was Dan.
Yeah, there was like very confidently thought it was
Yeah.
Dan. Like, well, I figured this one out.
Everybody very confidently thinks everything. Everybody confidently thinks Building 7 was
An inside job.
just fell down because
There's a lot of paperwork in there, Dan. Stuff about the Gulf of Tonkin and far back as the Revolutionary War.
as Ryan points out, what are they going to do with all the paperwork about planning 9/11?
Yeah.
What building are they going to put that in?
Here's another shit
Even bigger
reference,
building.
Harmon. He eats his own shit again. Happens.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Just the brownies need to change. Jesus Christ. Sandoval, what are you going to say? Sandoval loves his family.
Yes, I do. Free them, please.